The final is underway here at the Billabong Pro Pipeline. The clock set at 40 minutes, counting down right now. The lineup of five-time world champ and Olympic gold medalist Carissa Moore up against the wild card, a young North Shore surfer on a dream run, Moana Jones-Wong. This is going to be one for the history books. Kaipo Guerrero along with Ross Williams and the GOAT
is going to have a lot of chandeliers and chatter on the face, and look for later waves in the set to clean up and open up and have a nicer barrel. Now, see, you can see all that chatter coming from the trade wind, and Carissa probably wisely goes straight. She's going to get the ski back out, but that's a fun paddle back out at times, Kaipo. My old friend Jack Johnson and I used to have a thing we called the BDPOC.
What is
which
that?
Is the backdoor paddle out contest. It's not usually the first wave of the set, ever. It's usually the second or third or fourth, you know. Here we go.
Moana.
Wow.
Pipeline, threads through there, spray on the way out, hands up in the air. The ground's having fun right now, Ross.
That was really cool. She's so fun to watch, but you can see she's just genuinely so stoked when she gets out of the barrel and thinking to yourself, I better make this drop. I don't want to get apexed on the reef. And she does such a good job at drawing her line. She is so consistent. She's got a really good lineup, and she sticks to it. But also, Kaipo, to both of our points here, her lineup is about 5 feet right on the apex. And so, man, look out Carissa. If she goes just, a hair deeper, she's going to be getting nines all day and better.
Yeah, because she's taking a diagonal line across, not dropping in and then bottom turning, So she's trying to knife it from behind the peak.
Kelly, you're a board designer as well. That Brett board that Moana's on, there's something about the entry to that board that seems like it's working for her because she's able to paddle into these boards fairly easily. We're back to live action. We'll get back to that conversation because another shot fired by the North Shore's Moana Jones-Wong. Now the judges owe us 2 scores.
Yep.
I have to touch on something. She paddled out here, got in the peak. Right before she got in the lineup, a big, heavy, thick set came. The one that Kelly said, those really steep, heavy ones. And she was like, you know what? I want one of those. Those things look insane. There's proper waves. I want to get back on the boil. I want to get underneath those things. She was just psyching out of her mind. So I'm just excited to see her just going for it. I want to see Carissa just pack a big bomb, too. I want to see a battle.
Yeah, Swaz, we'll be checking in with you. We're checking out the replays right now. We saw a beautiful in-water vision of Moana Jones-Wong, and now in slow-mo to really study this, Ross.
Yeah, and again, beautiful ride, but again, to get those judges to push her score into the 8s and 9s in the 90s and early 2000s when you had these specialists, now everyone globally is just really evenly good in all types of waves.
More on the backhand, grabbing the rail. It looks like she had the exit, just gets clamped coming out.
And so I noticed a couple things there. It wasn't as big a set. She saw her opportunity for a left. She's going to be, I think Carissa's going to be a little bit more comfortable on the right. Before is how far behind the curtain are you going to get. See how far behind the curtain she is on this one? And it just had a little bump in it, a little wedge coming across from the wind chop. But she was able to get way behind the curtain, but not as big a wave. So there's going to be that, maybe there's that offset. Moana's really got her eye. I know Moana wants to impress everyone. It's really rare to have a wild card in a final. It's super rare, if you think on paper, to get both in a final.
Right.
But that's where you, oh, here we go. Let's see if she gets under this. Oh,
Moana!
Nice.
Beautiful drop again. So casual, stalls off the bottom. Spit, and again, another completion for the North Shore.
And this will be, this is where the judging criteria, I didn't read what they were planning on with the women this morning, but the commitment to getting big waves, there's just something in that makes her stand out, right?
Then she'll just go blow right into the 9-point ride or maybe even a 10. And for Carissa, she just needs to link up with that wave. She really visualizes Kaipo.
Oh, it's classic replay. Just, again, I'm turning my attention to the board here. Just every time, she's just able to glide in really difficult drops, Kelly.
Very Derek Ho-esque right there. It was nice. It was a great drop. It's too bad that wave didn't have a little more wall down the line, down into the sandbar. But
little
God, she set it all up so perfectly. Just a little more wall on the end, and that she was looking at way up in the excellent score.
Pay attention to her hands. This is a kind of a Gabriel Medina
double stall.
Yeah, the double stall.
It is a little Medina,
so good at it. And she's trying. So Kelly, to your point, she knew it was an A-frame. She's like, I better stall. She got barreled for a hot second, but the judges, they want you to be in the barrel for a little longer.
Moana Jones-Wong out in the lead, 6.67, back up with 5.33.
Interesting.
And here
really
she goes
behind
again,
this one.
deeper this time. And Moana has
Oh.
to fight for that one. She wanted it.
See all that bump? See that chop coming across? She had the perfect line. The only thing she maybe could have done was tuck and go a high line coming out, but the board was bouncing through the chop, and I think that was more a factor of the maybe that angle wasn't possible because of the chop in that. Look at this line. So she's way behind the peak. It's perfect. Let's see this bump right here that comes up the face, right about here, and see how it clamps on her. She needed to be. I mean, if you could draw the perfect line, you would have been lower coming up, but I don't think that from where she was, because she had to take such a hard line across that wave from behind the peak, she maybe couldn't have been coming up right there the way she needed to. So sort of an unmakeable exit, I would say. Kind of like Seth Moniz's in the final yesterday,
right.
where it forced him down on his stomach. I mean, he even said, I don't know if I could have broke through that other than getting on my stomach.
Well, interesting. Seth is a smaller guy, and Moana is tiny, and physically that's tough too, to break through those big lip lines at pipe.
She's actually feeling it right now, but also coming back with some more backdoor. Traveling through this one, another section, and gets gobbled up in there, unfortunately, for the 5-time world champ. Moana again, pipeline stalling, spit on the back, another exit, and the young phenomena from the North Shore continues her assault at the Bonsai pipeline and starts to elevate women's pipe surfing in front of our eyes.
How exciting is that for her? You can see, look at the smile on her face and the body language, and she's just so psyched to get back out there. She's like, there's no guys in my way, there's no free surfers, I'm getting every wave I want. Pretty awesome.
Well, she tried to stall again, so she's definitely picking up on the idea of trying to get really deep. And so this is going to be a similar score, sort of a repeat of the other scores, the 5-5, something like that. And, it's just the culprit is getting a little tucked in, deeper in the barrel.
I see a little Jerry Lopez influence, too. She's really got a calm style, really, really smooth.
She is. She's catching a lot of waves, so this is also good for her confidence. She's not just dropped anchor and really cold out there. She's warm. She's ready to go. You keep catching waves out there, it feels normal. And so she's normalizing any kind of scary factor out there at pipe, which is good for her. She just needs to get that. I mean, had she made it out of the wave prior, we're looking at a big score.
Yeah. You can hear the excitement of people pulling for Moana, and it must be a little intimidating for Carissa to hear that. Let's hear this. What do we got here?
Moana using priority, pulling behind the curtain, and that's what we're looking for. The show continues for Moana Jones-Wong, and friends and family love what they're seeing.
You can just feel the stoke of the whole crowd on the beach. Everyone's just pulling for her. She is the underdog story here, and it's great to see what she's done. I'd like to see Carissa break this combo just to make the heat fun and to give Carissa a little bit of confidence to finish out this contest. But Carissa's done a great job, and Moana lived up to all the hype. She lived up to all the pressure, all the expectation that's been on her shoulders coming into this week. And for the last couple of years, everyone talking about her. Look at that. She knifed it from behind. That was perfectly surfed wave. And she really should be proud of herself.
She backdoored this thing.
She really did.
She did two things. She kept Carissa off the wave. She took off late and backdoored it. So even though it was a short barrel, that was a difficult ride, and she killed it.
Yeah, it was perfectly surf heat for her.
She smiled her way through that whole barrel.
Probably her hero in Carissa Moore at Pipeline in home waters. Sleeping in her own bed to make a big check is a nice thing, and to get surf Pipeline by yourself, it's awesome.
Look at her. There's the numbers.
Look at her.
And
that's so great.
The emotion now for Moana Jones-Wong. We have gone back-to-back historic days here at the Billabong Pro Pipeline.
That's great.
I just, goosebumps on the set here.
Wow. And she's #1 in the world rankings.
Wow. Just to add to that.
It's insane.
That is a giant, an enormous accomplishment for Moana Jones-Wong.